I don't know why they keep putting out them trash animations, yo. Like you got The Simpsons is the gold standard. Then you got Family Guy gold,
Still going.
Simpsons gold. Futurama is like silver, but then everything else beyond that shit is like bronze ass trash, bro. Like they keep making new ones and they keep promoting it like, yeah, right after the Super Bowl. Like, bro, no one's watching that at the Super Bowl, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, the two articles I wanted to talk about today, one was Vick going to Norfolk State. So he's following that same trend, you know what I mean, as Deion Sanders, Eddie George. You being from the area, the seven cities. Um, I want to ask you what that means to you, but uh, I really think that it's just an incredible thing that they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the old heads going back to HBCUs. Now you think he gonna end up going to like how do you feel about that shit though in general though?
I mean, I definitely think it's huge. You know what I'm saying? I think what makes his more unique is that, we all know his past, right? Uh, with the whole dog fighting thing and the legal issues, right? And to show that, to the area, to the community, to the world, like, hey, as a, African American male going through that stuff, he still was able to make it happen. You
And
know
he
what I'm
going back
saying?
home too because he had
Back
a
home, but it shows his hometown is looking out too, though, right? Like, shows like community got your back. We see it happen from the other side all the time where we ain't got to name names, right? Like where certain people got issues and they good, right? But how many times do you see it from the other side? So for real, it's definitely dope. It's gonna be interesting to see, um, the revenue and the attention he gets,
that's what
especially
I was
being from
thinking
the
about
area.
the revenue and
The
attention.
attention, revenue and attention. Because I will say this: Dion made his move, but we all know, yo, Tide Water 757, that's a hot area, like very hot area for just talent, period. Like not just sports, but
The only
musically, entertainment. Yeah.
I was going to say the only thing that I might be concerned about is that, and I have to say this, you know what I mean? Like I still believe that Michael Vick is a great person, leader, mentor,
Yeah.
person in society that you can aspire to be one of the greatest quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks of all time. You know what I'm saying? Hall of Famer, if not already. But I think that Coach Prime was coaching for a minute. You know what I'm saying? He was doing a lot of youth football, and I don't know if Mike Vick been doing all that type of behind the scenes, but Dion had Truth school. You know what I'm saying? Like he monitored the kids all the way up. He's got his own kids playing for him. Shador is going to be a top 5 pick. Travis Hunter going to be a top 5 pick. So he's going to have to Vic going to have to probably get some athletes from the area.
That's a that's a smart assessment. Like, and the reason why I say that is because there's already been, being connected out there. There's already been reports that have called him out for that, right? Saying, what is your experience, right? You getting the
Yeah,
job off your name. And I'll say that is like the funny part is when you own up to certain things, it's like, well, what else you gonna say, right? So he's definitely owned up to that. And said that already, like, hey, I don't have a certain amount of coaching experience, but if I surround myself by the right guys, right,
mm,
then that will help buffer certain things, right? But the funny part is, I'm that conceptual guy all the time. How many times do you hear millionaires and billionaires, CEO and execs say the same exact thing when people actually bring them in and say, oh, you seem so smart. You're the head of
so
this. And
Vic,
they're like, hey, it's my team. It's my
so Vic is in
team.
that category of non-experienced hires. So
I,
like JJ
I would
Redick,
say, I see, I
Jason
would say
Kidd,
this
all them coaches that went from NBA retired from the
straight
from the
to
straight to
coaching.
yeah
And,
no
and I mean, I guess we could say that, but I do think the discriminator, I guess, if anything, I had to think would be that humbleness and I guess more of the acknowledgement to know that, right? because you can have somebody that's a great ball player and been a Hall of Famer, but they don't want to hear what nobody else got to say, and they're like, "I'm gonna do it my way,"
But
right?
as long as you put it, I don't think it's a rocket science concept though. As long as you put smart people around you, you know what I mean. Like if
it
you're able to
it don't
be,
sound like it. It don't sound like it, but it is because again, getting back to what I was saying with the pride and acknowledging that is you're gonna have them people that don't want to. They want to be the ones to be like, "Oh, it's all me," right? And that's their fight. Is I want to do it my way. Um, Cowboys, or no way, right? And you see the struggles that happen when that's what you're doing a lot of times. So I think that success is going to be based on his willingness to be like, hey, yo, I don't know everything. Let me bring this dude on here. Hey, you know what? I don't know much about route running. Let me get this guy. I might butt heads with him. Like me and Lamar, we go there all the time, but I want Lamar to be my defensive coordinator.
yo, you ever seen a meme on the internet where this dude is shaking his head like this?
Yeah,
You ever seen that?
probably not even listening.
That's
At
how I
that
feel
point,
like
you're
right
not
now.
listening.
No, I'm listening, but like I was thinking like, yo, if a coach is talking to a defensive coordinator and he's like telling him his concepts and shit, and he's like, then he goes out and just doesn't follow any of the stuff that he says, yo.
That's that's what I mean, though.
How many times has that probably happened? You're in the league where it's like, yo, we're gonna like the Ravens, right? Somebody in the room has to be like, yo, playoff football at Baltimore, playing Kansas City, depleted roster. We're gonna control the ball, run the ball with our running back and our big old line. Like we're gonna, have Lamar on the edge, and somebody's and like John Harbaugh's like, then we go out 5 wide, yo, 3 and out. Put up
The
10
funny
points.
part is, the funny part is like
Chiefs are
when
gonna
you
do
said that, and somebody's like agreeing. I'm thinking that they're thinking about like their dinner for later that night or something. Like, yeah, the wife did say spaghetti or steak, and you're
like, yo,
thinking they're like
the whole
nodding
city
their
is
head to
depending
you.
on your decision making, yo, for us to go to the Super Bowl, yo. Oh my God. But yeah,
Right.
Vick going to Norfolk.
But I guess what I would ask though, about that is, outside looking in, obviously, me, my background. Like, what do you think, what is the best approach for him to be successful with a university like that hasn't, I'll be honest, that has not had much success ever. And our age is like they have
Yeah,
not had success in a while like
I think
that.
it's
So
about
this is big.
recruiting. It's about recruiting, which is probably he probably already like it's probably kids already about to
Yeah.
change their mind about going to college next year.
Yeah. Leaving
This
the
is
area, especially. Yeah.
and in the area because this is the generation of flip. Like commits be flipping
That's a
here
good
and
point.
there, transfer portal here and there. It's easier to acquire talent. So once
The
he's
Heisman
going
candidates. The Heisman
Heisman
candidates showed you that. It's like, whoa.
and their team. I read. I think they live in like they work in or they play in the Mid Atlantic East Conference or something like that. And they played like Old Dominion. They didn't beat Old
Should be in the
Dominion.
MEAC. Yeah.
The Mid East Athletic Conference. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
And then
I guess
and I
it's the way
forgot
they.
if I
I
forgot
know
if Morgan State was in there too though. I thought Morgan
yeah,
State
Morgan
was in there
in
too.
there, Compton probably
Yeah.
in there, Hampton probably in there, Howard, like all of them in the mid. But anyway, uh, they ain't beat Old Dominion since 2011. So that's the in-state rival. You know what I mean? So it's similar to Dion coming in when Colorado won one game. The expectations ain't as like, yo, we gotta come in and take the MEAC. You know what I'm saying? But when Dion did go to Jackson State, they was like in the SWAC, I think. So they got to the
But, e-
championship game.
but even to highlight what you said though, it's like what's crazy. You say Old Dominion, they didn't even have a football program, bro. That's how I ended up going to West Point because they recruited me and told me we don't have a football program yet. So think about how sad that sounds that you have
Nope,
North
sorry,
State
we don't have
who,
any footballs.
but listen to this though. You got Nova State who's been a football program for a while.
And losing to a
And then you got losing to
think
a program that is off the ground,
that just got
like
to quit.
an expansion team, right? Come on. So that tells you where the mentality is with going to that university from then versus now. So that's going to be the unique point, like you said, is that would be a great judgment thing right there. It's like he comes in and all of a sudden they are beating them teams in the area previously they have never been able to beat. Like I think that would be a great, and we talked about that too, right? Them coaches where they know the games they got to win to keep their jobs.
Yeah,
They're
Coach
like,
Jeffrey.
oh yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm the Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna go. If I win only 3 games this year, I better at least beat the Steelers. I better beat
Oh
Baltimore. Like,
yeah,
and
that's
if
what
I beat
Navy did.
them,
Navy saved their season, yo, by beating the Army. They beat them.
absolutely,
They saved the season. That's
absolutely,
what the coach was saying. It's like, yeah, it was a great season. But when did they end up having a losing season, yo? Not going to a bowl game, and they
I'll
went
be
out there
back
and
next year.
next year they're gonna be like 0-10. Be like, we beat Army. That's all that matters. That's right. Go Navy,
One
beat
in
Army. And they sprint over there to sing last, yo. It's like, oh my God, yo. Y'all had a
Super
losing
Bowl.
season.
That's Super Bowl to those teams, yo.
That's
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
That was Michigan. That was Michigan, Ohio State. That's why that shit turned in. That's why it turned crazy. It
It
turned
did.
crazy because that coach needed that win. He
Oh, he was
needed
on
that,
fire.
and he even knew he even acted a fool himself because again
Unpack
because he
your
already
bag, kids. We're staying in Michigan.
no more behind the face as I walk down the street.
Hey, turn that moving truck around. We're staying another year. We beat Ohio State 2-11. Yeah.
Yeah, he needed that, bro. He knew it. He knew it. The staff knows it. Everybody knows it, bro. That's why it's
He
funny.
said, yo, ain't nothing worse than walking on them interim rocks, yo. Them interim eggshells. Remember, when you an interim, the family's an interim. Your interim kids got interim,
Like
you got interim friends, interim teachers, interim sports leagues.
son, don't worry about your principal. He's an intern. Don't worry about the governor. It's an intern. We're
You're gonna
moving
get a
next
new one
month.
soon, right after this game. Right after the clock hits zero, son, you're gonna have a whole new school system. Don't even worry about it. We're
I don't
going to
even know if
Cleveland.
we're gonna book. I don't even know if we're gonna book these flight tickets or not. Last coach that got fired, he was told not to board the plane. So
That's
don't
crazy
worry
too.
about
Yo.
that. Way.
That's crazy. They did
They
that.
fire people in the terminal. In the terminal, wild, wild.
Why,
You must
yo?
really burn some bridges to get fired in the terminal, yo, or in the locker room. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, you're
Yo,
going to
imagine,
TSA like,
bro.
nah.
Just imagine pulling your luggage, yo, down the terminal. You're in the tunnel, and then the dude, then your athletic director's like, "Hold up, sir. Hold up. Now we don't have a ticket for you, coach. Wait, what? We don't have a ticket for you, coach. Hope that Uber Cash works out.
Right. Go to the front desk, yo, and book your own flight to wherever you want to go.
Crazy, crazy, bro.
But what you been
Crazy.
writing on, bro?
Well, I was talking to Baker Mayfield.
Oh, Baker. Let's talk
Baker,
Baker. Yo. Let's
yeah,
talk Baker.
Baker. I want to say he got NFC Player of the Week.
Okay, what is that supposed to mean, though?
No, that's the. It's more of I think just supporting elements. Supporting elements. That's really where that lies.
It'd be one thing if
Um,
you're like, all right, MVP race, playoff wins, um, comeback player of the year, anything. You said AFC South player of the week?
NFC.
Oh, excuse me, my bad. NFC South. So out of 4 teams, he was the one player, yo, the
Well, I'm
quarterback.
not gonna say NFC South. It might be NFC. But the funny part would be is like if they only had like 3 games, and then he was the Player of the Week.
Because it's still the NFC
Like, yeah,
South, yo. There's
Baker
no
is the
players of the
Player of the
week.
Week.
There's no players of the week in Carolina right now. You know what I'm
You're right.
saying?
Yeah, the
There's
South is bad.
no players of the week in New Orleans.
Kirk just apparently won but got benched, right? Falcons.
Oh, yeah. And they got 15. They almost lost to the Raiders So the Raiders were trying to lose, and they still almost won.
That's always
Kurt was
funny.
so bad. Kurt was so bad that the Raiders, who were trying to lose, almost won. If they just scored a touchdown, it'd have been tied up, or they kicked the field
They got
goal
players. They got players running towards the end zone, sliding.
because they
In
trying
the
to lose to
second
get
quarter.
those Sanders in there.
Second quarter, they sliding towards the end zone, like can't score a touchdown.
Kirk Cousins over there, like giving handoffs to D-back show. They're like, yo, go take it to the house, yo. I ain't even trying to win this game, yo. Y'all got it. But the NFC South has been kind of hurting. So now they're gonna start Penix. But I know the start of your conversation with Baker.
Does
I
he
think
get props or not? Does he get props since his
yeah, he
move?
gets props, but like he's making what 30 something million a year, I think. I think he's doing the right thing. I think he's right where he needs to be. And that's why I like him compared to Brock Purdy, because I think they are similar in the fact that they need a certain amount of weapons around them. They can't function
So
without a
you're
certain
talking
amount.
system. You're saying he's in the right system.
Yeah, he's in the right culture too. Like Todd Bowles is a defensive coach, so he's going to have that defense already prepared for stopping the run, being tight on the pass. Show Antoine Winfield Jr. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got the defense like locked in. So now all you need is a quarterback and a run game. You need a run game. Like he got everything kind of set up for him. He was not going to be able to do that in like.
But I guess the question is though, is that really a flaw though? And I think that's the debate. That is the debate of all. I ain't gonna say all sports in a way because definitely football, right? It's like somehow that Brock, people were calling him a game manager last year, right? And even his own players took offense to that because it's like he's doing well with the system they're in. And it's like, how's that a flaw? Like that's the point of any job, right? Like conceptually, not even just football. Like if you work somewhere, you want to thrive in their system. So the fact that you either thrive or you don't, nobody's gonna bully you or say you're terrible because you're thriving in the system you're in. And I think that that's where it's funny because you see media, you see critics always trying to say they always try to knock it as if that's bad. And it's like, okay, well, bring in the who's the quarterback from the Giants. Bring him in, see if he thrives in that system. Right? Just don't even know his name at this point because they keep cycling through
Daniel
QBs.
Jones.
It could be Jones got released, but then behind him, I don't even
Like
know how
Tim
he's
Boyle,
second stringer.
Tommy Cutlet, Tommy DeVito, or something like that.
DeVito, that's it. DeVito,
Mhm.
like what? Come on, yo. And it's like, how are you knocking somebody for thriving in a system? You know what I mean? I think the real challenge with them is always what I always say is once you start to achieve that success in the system, obviously now people got that game film. People have certain
But I
advantages.
also believe that every quarterback has to be a game manager. There's no such thing as like a quarterback that's not a game manager. Like you know what I mean? Like you have to manage the game. You might have the strongest arm, but that doesn't mean you got to do that on 3rd and 2 and
Well,
run.
you could mention this too is and I like that you said the game manager highlighted that because the coach that absurdly did not call a timeout that got fired. I believe that was the Bears coach,
Yeah.
right? If you have a quarterback that's a game manager, he probably protects
Don't
that
call a
coach, right?
timeout.
To call the timeout. When
Yep.
he realizes like, yo, this is out of control.
Just
I'm
like
gonna
when
go
Dak
ahead.
Prescott was in the playoffs and Skip Bayless ripped the referee and he ran. It was like he ran and then it was like only a few seconds left, but he was running for the first down, ran past it, slid and tried to call a timeout, but the ball had to go to the referee. So
And the
like
time ran out.
time ran out, right? And then even in any common situation where all right, yo, you want to throw the ball out or you want to take a sack. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to know how to manage the game. But I think that Baker is just he's not obviously the Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Uh, he might not even have the arm talent of like Trevor Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? But Trevor Lawrence, like that's a different topic, yo, because like
Yeah,
with
he's a whole different topic because he got to get out of there.
he got to get out of there. You know what I mean? Sometimes, and I think this is where your argument was always over the years kind of based with Baker was that like he's in a bad system. Cleveland, Freddie Kitchens, he wasn't no he was in that category of non-experience. Well, he was a coaching, but never been like a head coach. And I don't think he was like a true leader. But you had Freddie Kitchens in there. I think you had homeboy too, Black from the Bengals was Hugh was in there. Coach Hugh was in there. And then after that, he finally got, I think he was at that time. It was like, all right, we got to move on. You know what I mean? Like, because we tried this out, but he just was never able to thrive in that system.
And I think that's the hard part when they get paid that money too, though, right? It's like that's usually what keeps them there. Um, because then all of a sudden Jaguars throw all this money at Trevor to keep him there. You got to make that decision too, though. Am I actually trying to win? Am I trying to get paid? But
Right.
again, this is the funny part too, though. With football, in my head, I'm always like, "Yo, is that extra 20 million worth getting your head beat up every weekend and losing?" Because we already know he's injured, right? He's out. Like, bro, your body is taking that toll because you are playing for a bad franchise, terrible franchise.
And 30
Um,
million a year is not bad. That's not bad. When the salary for quarterbacks is now up to like 55 million. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and he still would get, even if he said, "I want to lead them next year." The market, you already know, huge for that dude, Joe. And it's like, not only would the market be huge, he's not gonna probably have to worry about the stuff that he is dealing with there
Mm-hmm.
at all. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
want to go into a game not knowing you're gonna lose, and I think that's just one of those, yo. Like, each weekend, each Sunday, Thursday, Monday, you should be like, all right, yo, we got a chance to win, versus being like, yeah, yo, probably ain't gonna be good. You know what I'm saying?
I think he also when he came out, he was also put on a pedestal, number one pick,
You think
commercials.
so?
Yeah, a lot of commercials, a lot of
I think he
advertising.
was good though. I think he was good though.
Yeah, I didn't think he was good probably in the mind. I think he's a lot better in the mind now than what he once was. And that's why like he is getting some success with a legitimate organization and leadership around him. So I give him credit that way. Yo, the other thing that I was gonna talk about today, unless you want to talk more about Baker.
Nah, I mean, that thought alone, yo, I just be thinking, it has me thinking about obviously expanding from not even just Baker. I think he definitely did. He's doing his thing. He's showing that, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about the system. He's showing that he's talented. I think he's just more of an athlete. So I don't think he's any better or worse in a way than, Lamar Jackson. I think um, he brought up a few other quarterbacks too as well. But I think again, it's like, what is your franchise? What is your system, right? Like, if I'm a head coach, I might be like, yo, Lamar Jackson don't fit my system. Like, he can't complete a post corner. Baker can, or something like that, right? And I'm not saying he can't, right? But you get what I'm saying is like, certain systems is just one of those where those type of assessments I would think coaches do, to be like, hey, bro, I'm drafting Trevor Lawrence because he's a pocket passer. He's going to stand in the pocket. He's going to be a deliverer, even though Lamar Jackson is clearly the ultimate better athlete. It's like, I don't know, because this is what I'm trying to accomplish. I might have to go, to the other way with it. And I think that's where the quarterback position is really dope. Um, and it bleeds over, I think, to other positions too. But obviously,
Mhm.
the quarterback joint is definitely, on top comes back.
And then the other thing I was going to talk about was just like I was watching Snoop Dogg a lot recently because his new album came out called Missionary, and it's produced by Dr. Dre. I know Missionary, right? Just get straight to it. Why
That's
did you? Why did
that's
you? Why
Snoop.
did you? Why? Could you explain your reaction when I said the album's name?
Well, you repeated it once, so you wanted to highlight it. Um,
When I said missionary, I feel like you
but the way
you
you repeated it, it kind of like it popped up, like you highlighted it. But then I thought about Snoop too, and we know Snoop back in the day, so I was like, okay, Snoop, you still bout it, yo. You
so
still
that's what
bout
I think. That's what he used to play on words, because Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style. Like I think he just kind of went in and said like, "Yo, this is the missionary," and he in there with Dr. Dre, and he been talking like they've been interviewing him and stuff like that, and talk about his journey. And then they ask him about the Drake and Kendrick beef. They asked a lot of people about that. They asked about like, yo, suing. And then a lot of cats answer the same way. Like I would answer too if I had close, you know, friends or coworkers that I knew very well that
Yeah.
are going through something. I'd be like, yo, man, that's not even my place. One of them was I heard 50 Cent saying that it's about damage control so that they don't play. They not like us in the Super Bowl at the biggest stage, and then it's like, damn, you don't play. They not like us like that up there and play like the whole Kendrick. I mean the whole Drake this joint is like. So that's what was behind a little bit of that suit. But I also think about, especially in today's age, where this beef been over, and you hear Kendrick album, it got some similar beats, and it got some call outs. You know what I mean, to some people, some artists, and you got the lawsuit going in. So it's like, yo, it's a lot of eyes on this joint. But what if Kendrick Lamar come out Super Bowl and he brings out Lil Wayne? They got a song together, Mona Lisa. Like then all of a sudden you bring Drake out there. I know they got a song together. That would be insane. So that's why I'm thinking like that would be a crazy. And Drake and Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? Young Money, Cash Money. If Kendrick end up doing it, or some
Pretty
coordination with
much
Lil,
collabing.
like this could be we could be sitting on one of the biggest collabs, yo, of all time, on the biggest stage
After a beef.
after a beef. Because I know
A
Jay-Z and
pretty bad beef.
yeah, lyrically, like a lyrical assassination. You know what I'm saying? Like no, nothing close to it. So I wanted to tell you that I feel like there could be breadcrumbs leading up to Super Bowl in February where Kendrick, Drake, and Wayne all perform on the stage. That shit would be crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Shador.
What?
With Shador Sanders.
What would he be doing in there, yo?
Bro, you ain't see the Heisman joint? Lil Wayne was sitting next to Dion and
Yeah, he was
Shador,
there for Travis Hunter though.
and Travis Hunter actually gave him a shout out. So basically what I'm adding in is if Lil Wayne's there, Shador's gonna be there, Dion gonna be in there, crip walking, and so is Travis Hunter,
But
blood walking.
at this point, for them, they got to focus on that Alamo Bowl. You know what I mean? They got to play BYU. That's a really good team. You know what I mean? But Super Bowl's in February,
But
so
getting back to what you said though, all jokes aside, I think that it's kind of hard to know when a beat like crosses into all right, yo, there's no recovery. Especially for guys, right?
Mhm.
Like we're a little different. Like, you can be beaten and bloody and next thing you know, yo, you like, yo, we good now. Some heart to heart or something,
It's
right?
like, nah, we can't be good
But
because you broke my nose. You broke my nose.
yeah,
My medical bills are high. Uh, my nose ain't even the same.
yeah.
Like, and you gonna dap me up and think we still cool? Like, nah, bro, you broke my nose. And after you broke it a little bit the first time, you just kept going. And it's like, now I got a whole Michael Jackson nose, yo. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
even then though, it's like I
there's
feel
no coming
like
back from that.
with time and money though, with dudes, it's like somehow I could still see that going down. It's a handshake. It might be after a year or 2 or 3. Like, obviously, some type of agreement, like you said. Hey, you paid for this Michael Jackson nose. We good now. Like,
No,
you know what I
no,
mean?
no, 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 no. See, that's where you're talking about. There's no point of return from that, bro. If my nose, like if you in a fight and you break my nose and it's like then you go down, you like and it's like, yo, you broke my, now I got to get reconstructive surgery for my nose.
But I paid for it,
Okay,
and
you
you
pay.
probably started the fight,
Okay,
and you started it. So it got to be one of those where everything
okay.
lines up because When you think of the Lamar, when you think of the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, it's like who started it, who tried to finish, who took some low blows and kept taking low blows, right? But it
Who
take,
paid for the nose?
hey, I got a lawsuit. Hey, let's settle that lawsuit.
Mm,
You know, like you said, all those things have to line up, yo, for them to be on stage, dancing and vibing, yo. All that would have to line up, yo. Some things behind the scenes would have to line up, yo, where they dap, they forgive each other, and that's tough. I don't see that happening in a month and a half or 2 months. Like I think that's gonna be that would be a push. But I'll give them a year though or two because I mean we know it happens. Like Future, they went in and out of it like twice, but obviously they got beef still. So it's just like you just never know. And the thing that I think always gets me the most really is like when they start these beefs. In my head, I'm like, bro, and it's not just guys either, female artists too. How much more money do you lose every single time?
mm.
Like it just doesn't seem like it makes much sense to be like, all right, yo, I'm gonna start beef with every single rapper. Like, because even on the female side, like you think of, Nicki Minaj or you think of Megan Thee Stallion, and I'm sitting here listening to songs where obviously on the female side, they definitely are saying females are the ones killing it right now. So it's like Glorilla's in there on the same beat, Hot Vibe, Megan Thee Stallion, and Cardi B all on the same track. Can Nicki get on there? No go. No go. Nobody's working with her. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how much money are you actually losing because that's what you're doing? When all these other females, they're collabing. They're collabing. You know what I mean? Like for them to even bring Cardi on just to do probably 3 minutes or a few 2 minute verse, you know how much you're getting paid to do that? Like,
Mhm.
serious? Like, but that was Drake. Drake was taking all these shots. I'm like, I don't know. But that's where I feel like the lawsuit comes in is because he did all that shit, and it's like, bro, nobody's collabing with you right now, yo. So good luck.
Yeah,
Good luck.
yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see. But what's the last thing that you had? So you had Baker and you had what else?
Shit, really just cousins getting benched, Joe. Everybody already felt like that was a matter of time.
Hold on though. Do you think? Yeah, yo. Do you think that Penix is the right time for him to start though? I feel like it's too late in the season for that.
I don't think there's never a wrong time to start. And I think that it's even better for him because um, last time I even looked at it, I want to say Baker and them are 1 game ahead only in the South. I'm gonna say
Hmm.
it's like 8-6, 7-7, or something like that. Um, but I think that's a good opportunity because it puts pressure on him. Then you can see how he responds. You know what I'm saying? And for him, I would look at that joint like it's a win-win, right? Because you ain't got much, like you said, too late in the season, right? So it ain't really much you can do, and then you always got that fallback to be like, bro, I only had 2 games.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So I definitely don't think it's bad for him. I think it's definitely a political move in a way because you already know fans probably been asking for it. They know what the deal is. They signed this dude, and that's the problem. Kind of like the Browns, right? You signed Deshaun Watson, you signed Kirk Cousins for all
That was
this
a bad
money.
deal though. That was a horrible deal with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but we all know that was one of the biggest, silliest deals. But at the same time, it's like, it's like they got to try to save face somehow. So it's like now all of
But
a sudden
maybe
it's like, oh, well,
maybe,
let's
maybe
bring.
their strategy could be this too, yo. Like you bench Kirk Cousins so you can prevent him from going out and shit in the bed because you want to maintain trade value. You know what I'm saying? Like you going if
Well,
he
I wouldn't even say shit the bed get hurt because it is football.
if he
So
get
I
hurt,
get what
he
you're
get hurt.
saying is getting
Same
hurt.
same stuff, right? Right? Because now you can't trade another hurt quarterback that he already was coming off the ACL G.
That's a
That's
good
probably
point.
why he might have even had some of his struggles this year because his body wasn't the same. And so now, like, all right, you bench him, you preserve his health. He's still a great dude. Like he's not one of those guys that's a bad culture fit. Like he's gonna help out and mentor whatever
Yeah, he's
quarterback.
not going. He's not going to ruin the locker room.
Yeah, and he can still on a good day. help you win a couple football games. Because the Giants, they digging with Tommy DeVito, Tim Boyle, Mason Rudolph is.
I don't know, bro. Like when you said the Giant show, I cut my ears off in a way, yo, because the Giants, like the Giants have not been favorites with quarterback show for like a while now, yo. Honestly, it's been a while. Where it's just like, what are y'all doing with these quarterbacks?
They just haven't really been able to find the heir apparent to Eli Manning, you know, because you look at the front, like Green Bay, they've been able to move on from Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. That's a good situation. Even the Ravens, like we've got Joe Flacco, and then we move right into Lamar Jackson, Kansas City, Alex Smith, Pat Mahomes. Like those transitions.
Did they? What happened with Tyler Hunt? Is he still down there in Miami?
I think so, but I can't even confirm that, bro. Like, to be honest with you.
That's the sad part, bro.
That's the business, though. I mean, he still
they hyped him up. They hyped him up. He had his chant show, and now we over there don't even know what this dude at. He left Baltimore. That's like, yo. That's like, yo, like, yeah, yo, Lamar, yo, or moved to Miami, yo. And he like, yo, is he still in Miami? We're like, oh, shit, I don't know, bro.
I mean, he made about $3 million in his career. He from Florida, so because OBJ, he just got released from the Dolphins. So I mean, like, Miami's not a bad place. So him and Tyrod might be starting up there on flag football. That's not a bad place to be though. Right now, it's like 40 degrees, raining. You want to be in Baltimore, or do you want to be in Miami?
They about to start their expansion team, yo. Idaho Timberwolves. Starting quarterback Tyler Huntley, starting receiver OBJ.
Yeah,
Idaho Timberwolves.
Just dominating too, yo.
Killing the game out there.
Dominating, because they still. Tyler Huntley is still pretty young. Like OBJ, yeah, he's older, but he's still an elite NFL.
Bro, I think they're still good. I think it's systems, bro. It's systems, and their bodies catch up with them. But it's like, it's systems, man. They gotta be operating somewhere.
But that's all for real today.